I wake up every day is a daydream. Everything in my life ain't what it seems. I wake up just to go back to sleep. I act real shallow, but I'm in too deep. And all I care about is sex and violence. A heavy baseline is my kind of silence. Everybody says that I gotta get a grip.
What's up, everybody? This is Sagar, and this is the MMA Replay. This week we're covering UFC 128, which is on March 19th, and the main event is Mauricio Shogun Rua versus John Jones for the light heavyweight championship. And again, there's a Facebook card, which is going to be the fights aired live on Facebook, and there's also going to be a preliminary card where the fights are aired live on Spike TV. And this week we talked to Matt Brown, who's a welterweight in the UFC, and we also talked to Brad Pickett, who is a bantamweight in the UFC, and we talked to them about their picks for UFC 128, what's going on with their training, and who's next for each of them. So let's go through the card, and I'll tell you guys who's fighting on the Facebook card, the Spike TV card, and the pay-per-view card.
And she ain't afraid to use that.
Come on, we'll catch our very last train, light our very last flames, and we'll knock it all back and forget our names. Cause it's our last night, and it's one last fight. We're the last one, the last one standing. The last one standing.
So let's talk to Brad Pickett and Matt Brown and see what their picks are for UFC 128 and what's going on with them. All right, let's do it. All right, what's up, everybody? I'm here with Brad Pickett today from the UFC. And Brad, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm all good.
How's training going? It says that you're fighting Miguel Torres, UFC 130.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that fight.
So for Miguel Torres, obviously you watched his last fight, and what are you looking to do against Miguel Torres?
Well, without giving too much away, I think it's. No, if anyone's seen me fight, I'm very rarely. I don't fight on the back foot. Where you saw with Miguel was very much a good counter fighter, and he was fighting Ben Wallace, who in my eyes is a counter fighter as well. So that never was really going to be the most exciting fight, and it showed that Miguel's reach paid advantage, because Ben Wallace couldn't get inside, and he's not really. When you see Ben Wallace when he fought Jorgensen and stuff, what good stuff he done is when Jorgensen was coming forward, and if Miguel's not coming forward and Ben Wallace is not coming forward, it's never going to be a crowd pleaser. But this one, I believe will be, because I'll bring the fight to him. He'll try and counter box me, and I'll be coming forward. So
you've been working. You're at American Top Team. Are you going to be with American ATT for the next fight too, then, or?
Yeah, at the moment I'm here back in England. I'm training, just working a lot on my boxing with a lot of good coaches here in England. We've got high level boxing here. So while I'm here, I'm really concentrating a lot on my boxing and my stand up. I'll go back to America in 1 week's time and start my main training camp then.
At Coconut Creek.
Yeah, Coconut Creek.
How do you like Coconut Creek?
Yeah, it's great. I've been there on and off for a few years now. I love the place, full of good guys, and not just high class talent there. There's a lot of good friends I've got there now as well, very friendly.
All right, so what I want to talk to you today about is the card UFC 128, and I just wanted to get your predictions for the card, and I guess who do you want to win and why for pretty much all the televised fights. And I'll start with Kurt Pellegrino and Gleison Tibau. So obviously ATT is Gleison Tibau. So,
I love Tibau.
Who do you want?
Yeah, I like watching Kurt. I think Kurt's a very exciting fighter, in good in all areas. But Tibau is just a beast, and he's very strong. And he also is improving in all these areas now. He's getting more comfortable with his stand-up now. He has great wrestling, and obviously he's good on the ground. I think it's going to be a good fight, and I think Tibau will come victorious with that. Obviously, I'm going to be biased, but even if I was looking on the outside, I think Tibau should win that fight.
All right, and the next fight is Ricardo Almeida and Mike Pyle. So who do you think and why for that fight?
I like both guys yet again. Probably Almeida, I think.
You think so? But you think he can submit Mike Pyle?
Maybe, yeah. But Pyle's tough, and he's quite, he's submission savvy. But so it's one of those. He has to buy MMA games so good, It's one of what's going to happen,
Yeah.
But if I have to go one way, I'll go with Almeida.
So all right, so you got Almeida, and then the preliminary card, which is on Spike TV, is the first fight is Edson Barbosa and Anthony Njokuani. So who do you pick for that one? Obviously, Njokuani, WEC guy.
Yeah, I got to root for my WC guy. You know, he's an exciting, very exciting fight as well. His last fight was really good. You know, no, what was he? What was his last fight actually? No, okay, I got these other ones, but
his last fight was Edward Folato.
Okay.
Njokuani, and he TKO'd him in the second round. Just look that one up.
Okay. Well, what card was that one on?
That was on 50 or WC. Wait, I just lost it. I'm sorry. Just give me a second. It was on 52.
Okay. Cool. All right, nice. No, I'm gonna stick with my my WC guy there. You know, you got to root for these guys because a lot of guys think that the WC guys will come in and get rolled over by all the UFC guys, but you've already seen that they'll come there. You know, Cowboy, you know, he won his fight in his UFC debut, and I believe a few others, you know, Anthony Pettis as well, Ben Henderson. There's a lot of good guys at that weight class, and they will compete in that division for sure.
Do you like? You said Cowboy beat Paul Kelly. Do you like Paul Kelly? You guys
I like both guys. You know, yeah. I'm not one of those. I'm not really super patriotic. I don't care if you're from my country, not from my country. You're either a nice guy, you're not. You could be a nice guy from England, or you could be, you know, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this, or you could be an idiot. Yeah, you could be a dickhead and be from England. It doesn't matter, you know. You could be a cool guy from America. You could be a dickhead from America. You know? I just like the person, and both of those guys I like. You know, I like both of them.
So while we're talking about this, what's your opinion of Michael Bisping right now?
No, it's hard when a lot of things you do is in the camera, you know, and fighting can get quite emotional, and when you're in the camera, a lot of times people do a lot of bad things, and they get away with it because there's not a camera in their face all the time. So, I've known Bisping for a long time. He hasn't done himself a lot of favours in some of his antics. I ain't gonna stick up for him in that way. But on a personal level, I get on with Bisping a lot. You know, he's done very well for the sport in my country. So, I think he's a cool guy. But I can see why he gets a lot of hate from other people as well. But
I like Bisping too, but.
Yeah, a lot of guys will for every guy that likes you, there's going to be some guys that dislike you. That's what opinions are made for. If everyone had the same opinion, it'd be boring.
All right, so back to the card. The next fight on Spike TV is Louise Kane and Elliot Marshall. Who do you think and why?
Louis Kane, he used to. I know him personally a little bit, and so I got to stick with him. He was supposed to be fighting Carlos Famola, which is another guy. I don't know too much about the other guy, you see, and he was supposed to fight Carlos Famola, and I know him quite well as well. But,
he's from Shoe Fighters, right?
What's that?
Is he with Shoe Fighters?
Yeah, he's with London Shoe Fighters, yeah. So I know him. I trained with him a little bit when he was at my gym in North London, Team Titan. So I trained with him a bit there. He's a nice guy as well, and unfortunately he's not very well at the moment. So, but I'm going to go with Kane on this one.
All right, now to the main card. First fight is Crow Cop versus Brendan Schaub. Pretty interesting fight.
Yeah, see, I'm not too sure about this one either. It's one of those ones. I think it's quite evenly matched, to be honest. I think I'm not. It's hard for me to swing either way with these guys. I might go for. I don't know. I'll come back to that one.
Okay. Skip that one. The next fight is Akiyama and Nate Marquardt. Obviously, Akiyama's lost his last two, and Marquardt.
Yeah, I think Nate is an exceptional athlete, and he he's so strong, and I like the way he fights. He really breaks people down, So I'm gonna go for Nate. I like him. I like him a lot. So I honestly do think he'll win that fight as well. To be honest, I think he's just gonna be just a bit too much. With his wrestling as well,
And the next two fights both involve some WEC guys. The next fight is Jim Miller versus Kamal Shalarus. So who do you pick for that one and why?
I'm gonna. a real tough fight. I love Kamal, on a real personal level, but they're really thrown into the walls. So Jim Miller is an exceptional fighter, and I'd like to say my head's with Jim, but my heart's with Kamal because I like Kamal. And I don't know Jim on a personal level, but I know Kamal on a personal level, and I got a lot of time for him. And he is tough, he's got really good wrestling and stuff, and he's not easy to put away. So, but Jim Miller has got an exceptional in MMA in all different areas, so he's got a lot more ways, I believe, to finish the fight if the fight gets finished. But I think Kamal's got maybe a good chance to pull off a decision. But if the fight gets finished, Jim will finish it.
All right. So the next fight is Uriah Faber and Eddie Wineland, both WEC guys. So what do you think for that one and why?
Well, you're obviously going to say Uriah Faber, and I believe it'll be Uriah Faber. Eddie Wineland is a very tough kid. He brings it every time when he fights and stuff. But I think Uriah's just too seasoned, and got too many ways of finishing that fight. I can't see Eddie Wineland knocking him out or submitting him or even bringing out a decision. I think that's like just tailor-made fight for Uriah Faber, that one there, just to keep him active and keep him winning. I believe, even though Eddie Wineland could give a lot of tough fights to a lot of top guys, but I think this one, just stylistically, styles make fights. It's a very bad matchup for him.
And they said that if Faber wins, he's getting Cruz.
Yeah. I think it was going to fight Cruz before this, but Cruz has been injured, hasn't he? So they got to keep Uriah busy. So
you got Faber.
I think definitely Uriah this one.
All right, and the final fight of the night is Shogun versus John Jones. Everyone thinks John Jones is on his way up, and Shogun. I mean, right now, actually, as odd makers make it, they say that John Jones is a favorite against Shogun, who's obviously the champion, which is kind of odd, but
I don't know. Isn't like, I like John Jones a lot, but this fight is the one which would say, is he not even just bringing the belt, obviously, but just because the guy he's fighting is a very good striker. Shogun's an exceptional striker, and even though John Jones doesn't have bad stand-up, he's never been in a war, and I honestly believe maybe John Jones' wrestling will pay through in this, and he's got a good enough stand-up to try and keep himself busy on the feet without getting in too much danger, and he'll take him down and grind Shogun and beat him up on top, and he's exceptionally strong in that. So one of those ones. I do believe John Jones, but it's a very tough fight for him. But I believe he's not just hype; he is the real deal. I think he's exceptional. And he's so young as well. He's got so. If anything does happen, something happens, and he does lose, he's got so much more time to go back, recover, get better, and come back and be the champion. He will be the champion. If not that time, he will be the champion.
All right, so you got John Jones for that one. All right, and now back to the first fight. So you want some time to think about it. Crow Cop and Brendan Schaub.
I've got to go. I love Crow Cop.
Me too.
So it's hard to pick against him, but he just hasn't been the same in the UFC.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like you're so. I don't know. I don't want to get in there sometimes and just shake him and go, "Come on, Crow Cop, where are you? What are you doing? What are you doing?" But I'm gonna go for Crow Cop. I'm just wanting to pull something out of the hat. And hopefully, he'll come back to what we all love seeing him in Pride and what he did back then. Hopefully, somebody could rekindle some of that old magic.
All right, so you got Crow Cop. All right, so that's Brad Pickett from UFC, and his favorite Premier League team is
Tottenham Hotspurs.
All right, man, I appreciate it. All right, that was Brad Pickett, and this is the second part of the episode is going to be Matt Brown. So let's talk to Matt Brown.